Salutations, dear listeners. It is I, Nostradamus, speaking to you across the centuries. I see that the future has delivered Donald Trump back into the White House at the end of the year 2024, and now his second term begins in January of 2025. Perhaps you have heard of my quatrains and the mysterious connections people draw to the events of your modern world. Well, allow me to share some prophecies that will illuminate as you ponder the shape of things to come. You wonder why the year 2025 is so special. Ah, mon ami, it is because your newly reinstalled leader, the illustrious Donald Trump, can once again brandish his America First banner and reshape policies near and far. He might stoke fresh trade disputes with far-off lands, fortify borders, or peel away climate regulations. Some of you interpret my dusty old verses, filled with references to floods, droughts, and trembling empires, as signs that such actions could create Western turmoil. Frankly, I find it both amusing and flattering that my ambiguous scribblings are held up to your present day like a cosmic mirror. Then comes the matter of The Simpsons, a cartoon that your century treats like a mystical oracle of the pixelated realm. These artists once predicted President Trump long before he took power, and they've toyed with visions of workforce displacing robots, catastrophic mishaps with nuclear plants, and even entire towns in financial ruin. Could any of their comedic storylines unfold in 2025? Oh, I suppose it's not impossible. Perhaps they have a secret candle that burns with the flame of prophecy, just as mine did in 16th century France. Now let us speak of the new wave of experts in your time, economists, scientists, and AI analysts, who have their own prophecies. They warn that 2025 is a pivotal year for curbing climate change, for harnessing advanced technologies, and for avoiding economic upheaval if trade wars intensify. They also speak of the war in Russia, where some folks imagine your newly re-elected leader could either swoop in as a grand negotiator to ease the conflict, or toss more fuel on the fire if his strong-arm tactics misfire. Meanwhile, my old quatrains talk of strife and powerful figures returning to the stage, hinting at the possibility that leadership choices could inflame or calm tensions. If I may be frank, it seems you modern humans are quite adept at inflaming tensions all on your own. Allow me to speak plainly, for sometimes a prophet needs clarity. By mid-2025, a wave of AI-driven automation rushes through your industries at breakneck speed, spurred on by policy shifts under the second Trump administration. A fervour for deregulation and corporate freedom unleashes cutting-edge robotics that displace human workers in fields once thought safe. Warehouse staff, call centre employees, office assistants, even some creative roles. This sudden job upheaval provokes a storm of public outcry. Companies cheer the cost savings, shareholders revel in short-term gains, but middle and lower-income workers fear being left behind. Towns and cities, already stressed by climate unpredictability and trade disputes, confront a new reality: a surging jobless rate. My visions show heated protests, congressional showdowns, and spirited arguments on talk shows about whether the administration let AI off its leash. Supporters claim it's the bold jolt America needs to stay technologically dominant. Critics argue it's a catalyst for social unrest. The question becomes, is this unstoppable automation wave a triumph of innovation, or a fiasco caused by political miscalculation? Then, of course, we have the question of whether Trump's approach to the conflict in Russia leans toward heroic peacemaking, thus potentially halting a devastating war, or if his unpredictable deals and sanctions might intensify things further. Some of my visions show him orchestrating a dramatic peace negotiation, an event that surprises the globe, quiets cannons, and paves the way for a triumphant deal of the century. People around the world breathe a sigh of relief, heralding him as the peacemaker nobody expected. Yet I also foresee an alternative fork in fate. His unpredictable style stokes tensions, pushes sanctions or strong-arm threats too far, and inadvertently escalates the conflict. Instead of forging peace, chaos deepens, alliances fracture, and world powers scramble. Which path is chosen, I cannot say for certain, for prophecy often offers multiple doorways. But this much is true: under Trump's second term, the fate of this Russian conflict will be radically reshaped, and it shall incite fierce debate among leaders and citizens alike. So, my dear friends in the 21st century, You now have your second-term Trump, my anachronistic quatrains, and a cartoon that occasionally nails reality with comedic accuracy. Does it all form a puzzle pointing to a perfect storm in 2025? Or is it just your modern minds weaving patterns from unrelated threads? After all, I was just a 16th century chap with a love for astronomy, cryptic stanzas, and very little knowledge of your orange-haired political figures or your beloved Simpsons. If you're concerned, let me offer some simple advice from the depths of time. Stay alert to new policies that may affect your trade, immigration, technology, or environment. Keep an ear to diplomatic whispers about Russia. What if you do see a sudden peace or a heated escalation? Adapt to the rise of AI by learning skills not so easily automated, lest you become a comedic statistic. And remember that no prophecy, comedic or ancient, supersedes the power of collective decision-making. You modern mortals have your laws, your activists, and your global institutions. Wield them wisely, and you might just veer from the doom I so often wrote about. That said, do enjoy the spectacle. There's a certain charm in seeing how prophecy, politics, and parody mingle in your time. Whether Trump's new term lives up to your darkest or grandest expectations, you'll be the ones to shape the actual outcomes. So, dear watchers of the future, do let me know which scenario speaks to you the most. Is it the comedic meltdown the Simpsons foretold, or the swirling turmoil from my old quatrains, or perhaps something delightfully more optimistic? If this playful journey across centuries stirred your curiosity, I invite you to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. I, Nostradamus, find it remarkable that with a single click, you can follow all sorts of videos, no quill and ink needed. And so I bid you farewell, with the reminder that although prophecies and cartoons may guide your imagination, the real architects of 2025 are none other than yourselves. Choose well, my dear friends, and see you in the next big prediction.